Okay, let's put this blueberry cheesecake stacker together. We start off with 2 8-ounce blocks of cream cheese. Then we put half of an 8-ounce tub of Cool Whip in. Okay, we put just a little dash of salt. There we go. Don't need a whole lot, just a dash. Now, grab the wrong bottle. Let's see. We need 2 teaspoons of vanilla. Okay. Now I'm not using sugar today. I'm diabetic, so I am using stevia instead. So 2 tablespoons of stevia. And then this is lemon juice. That's 1 tablespoon. And that is 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. Now, to mix it all up, get all this off. Okay. It can be quite messy. Okay, put that there. Rinse my finger off real quick. And then it's time to beat it until it's smooth. Nice and smooth. Gonna set this over to the side for right now. Now, it's time to get started on our blueberries. These are straight off my bushes in my yard. And we need 2 heaping cups worth. So, this can get kind of messy, so I'm just going to set my... Yeah, we don't need all the juice. Some juice is good, but not all of it. Okay. Ooh, this is going to be a mess. All right, that's 1. That is 2. I'm thinking I might even go 3. You can play with this recipe, make it more, make it less. We love blueberries. We actually grow our own blueberries, so I always have a freezer full. All right, there we go. 3 cups of blueberries. Put it back in there, keep it from leaking all over my refrigerator. Okay. We need a dash of some sea salt. Okay. Then we need a half of a teaspoon cinnamon. Okay. And like I said, I'm using stevia today, so I can have a little bit. And I did use the fat-free light whipped cream too. So that's 1, 2 tablespoons of the stevia. Actually, 1 tablespoon is equal to 1 cup of sugar. So we got that. Now, 1 teaspoon vanilla. A splash of lemon. Then we're going to put this on the stove and cook it down for about 45 minutes to an hour. Cooking it slow, like on a very low heat. Once it starts coming to like a little boil, then we'll add our cornstarch slurry. So let's get started. Okay. I am going to put about that much butter into my blueberry mixture over here. Let that melt down just a little bit. Now I've started my cornstarch slurry. I've got 2 tablespoons in here already. And here's the 3rd tablespoon. Now let me get this mixed up and then we'll go on over here to the blueberries. That butter is melting down and I am stirring my cornstarch slurry right now. We might not even need all of this, but just in case. Now, see how it's boiling? Now, there's a little. My allergies are acting up again this morning. I guess we will need it all. There we go. Now it's going to continue to get thicker. That's what we want. We want it like pie filling. And once it thickens all the way up, then we'll be ready to put it on our blueberry cheesecake stacker and start building it up. Alright, let's let this cook down for a little bit longer until it thickens. What I do, I've got me a Pyrex pan here. I lay down graham crackers. Managed to get 3 this way, 3 this way, and part of 1 this way. Now the easiest way to do it is just pick the graham cracker up, spread the cream cheese mixture on top, place them in the bottom, and then just go over it very gently like this. Now, next is our blueberry mixture. This is still quite warm, but that's okay. This has a very good lemony flavor to it as well. Just enough to fill up the bottom. And then just very gently go over it like this. Okay. Then we start all over with our graham crackers. So I will take graham cracker, just like that, and we start building. So I'll finish this up and we'll be back in a minute. Okay, we've got probably 5 good layers. Used a whole box of graham crackers. You can use any kind of graham cracker you want. Plain, honey, cinnamon. The blueberries already had cinnamon in them, so I chose to do the honey. Kind of offset it a little bit. So the last layer, we saved half of this whipped cream. So we're going to put the whipped cream on top. Spread it out as pretty as we can. Which, not going to be that pretty, I can tell you already. But it's not supposed to be a pretty dessert. It's supposed to be a good one. Very summery dessert. It's not real filling. And once you put it in the refrigerator to let all those flavors meld together, it'll be so delicious. So, okay. There we go. Rinse my finger off. Now, next on the agenda, just to make it a little pretty, got some crushed graham crackers here. There we go. Now, I usually leave it in the refrigerator a good 5 to 6 hours before we eat it. So I got this thing done first thing this morning. Well, we're going to do us some sweet potato fries with a garlic aioli for our meal today. So, we're going to leave the skins on. We happen to like the skins, so I'm going to start off by cutting it in half. And then cutting this in half. We're going to make steak fries, and we're going to cook them twice. They're so good for you. Not necessarily French fries, I would have to say, but sweet potatoes. They're a power food. Go. There we go. Now let me get all these cut up, and then we can get these dropped into our hot oil and start on our garlic aioli sauce. Sorry. Alright, our grease is hot. We're going to drop first couple of spoonfuls in. Now, I'm going to turn it down just a hair. We don't need it overflowing. Okay, what we're going to do with these fries is we're going to cook them all and then put them over to the side, let them cool, and then cook them again. We're going to double fry them. That way they'll be nice and crispy. Okay, this is our second fry on these sweet potatoes. Yeah, they got a nice little crust on them now. So we will take them out. Sprinkle them with some sea salt. Look how brown. Yummy. All right. And get our garlic aioli ready for dipping sauce. Getting ready to make our dipping sauce. This is a half of a cup of mayo. Use good mayo. Don't use any like Miracle Whip or anything like that because it's too sweet. You don't want it being sweet. Alright, so that's a half a cup of mayo. Now, let's see. There we go. Half of a cup sour cream. Alrighty. Now, we need a whole teaspoon of Worcestershire. Okay. Perfect. Now, this is by taste. Garlic powder. I usually just sprinkle some over the top. Onion powder. Same thing. Just sprinkle some over the top. And then I whisk it all together. And there's our aioli. That there. And it goes really so good with these fries. And if you're diabetic, a lot better for you than sweet ketchup or the powdered sugar that I've seen people using on these sweet potato fries. Let's see. Yum. Perfect. All right. Next are gristle burgers. We're going to start off with our gristle burgers. So, what we start off with here is 3 pounds of the 70-30 because you need some grease. Don't be getting no chuck or anything like that because you've got to have the grease for these to taste right. So, we start them browning. I always like to use cast iron skillet. And 1/4 of a cup of some good steak marinade. You can use any kind you like. We normally just get like a store brand. There we go. We have 3 pounds of hamburger meat here. We added our steak marinade to it. Bring out some of those flavors. I have 3 tablespoons of just plain flour. Got to thicken this stuff up. You stir it until it's all incorporated. Don't need any big chunks of flour coming through. Okay. Now, next step, 2 cans of French onion soup. That up where it's really cooking. And sometimes you have to go back and add a little flour to thicken it up. No big deal if you do. But you just have to keep watching the consistency and see how it's looking. Like with this, thickening up quite nicely, but see, I'm seeing grease here and there, so I think I might want to add a couple of more. Teaspoons of the flour. Something to soak up that grease. So here's 2 more. But you don't want it being too greasy. See, and it's starting to stick to the bottom right there. So the roux's doing what it's supposed to do. Okay. Now, let's add our other can of soup. Get that all stirred in. Okay, so what we're going to do, we are going to put this down to a medium low, and let it cook for another 35 to 40 minutes until it really starts thickening up. Alright guys, we put us a bun on top here to steam it. Oh, gonna be so good. Our family loves these. Alright. So the bun is nice and steamed. Next, put us a dollop couple of good spoonfuls of our Greastal mixture, just like that. Now you can add cheese if you want to, but we normally just eat them like this. Now back over here, now I put me some dill pickles on paper towel, drain off all the excess juice. We put us some pickles on here. Just like that. Little mustard. Talk about budget friendly. There we go. Now, you can compare this meal to going to that famous little burger place where you get the little square burgers. But this is much better. Gristle burger, sweet potato fries, and this lasagna, not lasagna, but the blueberry cheesecake stacker. This whole meal cost under $20. Now, if you have to buy your blueberries, they're kind of pricey, but you can get a good pint of blueberries for probably $5, $6, $7, something like that. But you can also buy a blueberry bush for under $20, and within 2 years you can be getting gallons off of one. So there you go. Hope you enjoy it, and can't wait to see you again for our next most southern video, country food in the world. See you later.